Sneaky Nation, welcome back for some more of the Warframe Let's Play series. So from now on, I don't want to just do one mission per video and just end it like that anymore. I've done a lot of videos like that up to this point in the series. I like what I've been doing lately, where I've been doing multiple different things in it. Like for example, in episode 200, we went in and we did one of the rank up missions for the mastery test. We did an actual mission, and we did some various other things. So I'm going to start doing that more often now, and to begin this episode, we're going to go do the next master rank up mission. That'll bring us up to master rank 12. Hopefully we can actually do it on the first try. I haven't actually seen what it's like yet, but I imagine we can do it. The one before this one was a little bit irritating, but whatever. And then we'll also check out a few weapons that we haven't seen in the series yet, so let's get started.
Your foes are not the only dangers you will face in the field. Avoid the lasers and defeat the enemies before the timer runs out.
I think we can manage that. I think we can manage it. Okay, so, we want to go up there. Alrighty. Got all these lasers out and about. Okay, they're all on the outside perimeter. We've got a pretty good arsenal here. Bolter Prime should do enough work, I imagine. They're all level 1, are you serious? These lasers aren't even doing anything thanks to Iron Skin. Thanks a lot. Okay, so far so good. Let's keep going around, ring around the rosy. Such a classic game, it never gets old. We're even playing in a Warframe now. Where's the next guy? Still got a little bit over 40 seconds to go. I don't know how many enemies are left. There's no timer for that, or like an exact count. Where are you, damn it? Yeah, we did it! Oh, that was actually incredibly easy. It was so much easier than the previous one. And just as I suspected, I'm already able to do the next master rank up mission, but unfortunately I can't do this test until tomorrow because you can only do one per day. That's kind of a shame. I mean, I'd rather just knock them all out in a row, but it's alright. So first up, we're going to check out the Mire, which is a melee weapon. It's the first time I've ever used in the series. I did use it a few times on streams, but we're going to check it out right now. What's going on here? That was a little bit awkward. What was that? Is that supposed to be warning that new update's coming? I swear I've never seen that before. That was freaking me out a little bit, but I guess we'll find out what that is eventually. Alright, so this is primarily a slash weapon, so it's going to be really effective. We're on a Ceres mission right now. This is a survival mission. It's tearing right through these enemies. They're over 30, level 30, so it looks like it's pretty good. I do like it. I put a catalyst on it. I also have a viral damage build on it as well, so it's attacking their health very nicely. I mean, it's tearing right through them, so it looks like it's pretty decent. The only problem is I had to, unfortunately, sacrifice a little bit of the attack speed, which I did bump up with Fury. It's kind of offset from the other mod that drops the attack speed, you know, so you can get some more damage on there. I mean, it's 100% extra damage with that mod, so it's really worth it. But, I mean, as you can see, I'm able to solo these enemies very easily. Obviously, with Rhino, it's just no-brainer that I'm going to be able to solo it regardless. But we're tearing through these guys. I'm not even sure what level they're going to have to get up to before they actually stand a chance of getting around this weapon, but I actually really like this one. I think it's been in the game for a while. I'm not sure how long exactly, but it's alright. We're finally catching up and going and backtracking for some old weapons. Plus, who knows? Maybe they could go back and like buff some old weapons. I actually think they do that, as a matter of fact. I don't really pay too much attention when the updates come out, but they do like buff and debuff the Warframe, so I'm sure the weapons sometimes do. I know like they'll go in and debuff like the amount of ammo that some can have on reserve. Because like for example the Penta, that one had so much backup ammo you could have on it, and now you can only have like 20 total, I believe. Kind of a shame, because before it was basically a limitless supply, but kind of expect that sooner or later. Alright, but anyways, I'm a pretty big fan of the Mire. Let's go take a look at the exact stats it's got. And here it is. This is the Mire up close and personal. As you can see, it looks quite vicious. I would not want to come face to face with one of those in a vicious battle. So much viciousness. But, I mean, let's see. I don't think you can actually change the colors of it, unfortunately. I tried to before, it wasn't working. Oh, you can, it does work. The game must have been glitching. The game's been acting really buggy lately. So, kind of like the way that looks. Change it up a little bit. Let's go with the flow here. I do have a lot of color packs, so I can mess around with it as much as I want to, essentially. Green doesn't look too shabby like that. Although I kind of like the idea of red being mixed in there. Oh yeah, okay, okay. Then for this one, what does that change exactly? Oh, okay. Wonder how white would look there. Not super great. Blue doesn't really fit in there. What about a gray? A nice light gray. I don't know, I really don't like that color scheme at all. You know, let's try this. I know people are not fans of this, but who cares? We're gonna try it out. Okay, you know, that one doesn't look too bad. I don't really like the white though, so let's keep going. Oh man, that looks drastically different. And that one, It's amazing how different the colors really make the weapon look. That one's terrible. Oh, too much white. I don't like having that much in there. Like a little bit like around the rims or something, the edges. The rims, what's this, a car? Obviously some color schemes don't work well at all on it. Oh, I kind of like that look. That looks pretty slick. Okay, let's go with that for a little bit. And then I also have these attachments on here. I have a couple of these. I bought one of the bundle packs off the market. I don't have them all, unfortunately. But I thought this one looked the closest to being part of it. So we went with that. And copy main colors. Yeah, copy main colors. There we go, now it fits in. Somebody pointed out to me on a stream before, I never really paid attention down here, but you can actually copy the colors. Even if you're like customizing the look of your Warframe, you can make the attachments, all the armor attachments and whatnot, the same color if you go down there. Alright, so we got that under control. Anyways, stats-wise. So it has a toxin damage attached to it. It's obviously very low at 3.5. This is, by the way, completely unmodded. And it has pretty high slash damage, at least compared to all the other base values on there. Puncture and impact are basically the same. Status is decent at 10%. Critical chance is too low to even bother modding for. And that's pretty much it. So let's go on here and look at my build I was using during that. Go to configuration A. Alright, so Crimson Dervish we have in the stance mod slot. This is incredibly difficult to get. You can only get it from bombards, but it's very beneficial for a lot of melee weapons. And we have pressure points to increase the base damage, attack speed from Fury, buzz kills adding to the slash damage. Typically, if I see that there's a high slash damage, I'll put a slash mod on there. Like, even if I see a high puncture or high impact, I'll put that specific mod on there, whichever value, like, is much higher than the other ones. If they're all about even, I won't even bother doing this. And Rendering Strike, we got slash damage and puncture damage from that, so I use that because it has an additional slash damage value over that one. Vicious Frost and Virulent Scourge I'm using together to add viral damage to it. And North Wind's also adding more viral damage to it. And then Spoiled Strike, this is giving 100% extra damage, but it's decreasing the attack speed by 20%. Now, because I use Fury on there, it's not really too slow. Like, there are a lot of weapons a lot slower than this right now, but I mean, it is noticeably slower, but it's noticeably much more powerful too, so I thought it was worth the sacrifice. I mean, there's some weapons I'll use this on, but not every one of them. Like, if it's a weapon that's really, really fast, I won't put this on there. But, yes, that will about do for that build, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, so I don't feel like I've ever given the Jat Kittag a proper introduction in the series. I'm not even sure if it's been in a video before. I kind of feel like it has been at one point, but now it actually has a catalyst on it. I've modded it more properly so it's actually more effective. I know it's primarily an impact damage weapon, which is of course better against the Corpus, but I want to try it out against the Grineer on Ceres again. They're all at least level 30, and as you can see, it's making quick work of them. It's actually a really solid weapon. I can't believe I don't use this more often, actually. I like having big hammers, mixing it up a bit. I know typically I'll use like a sword or something along those lines. Actually, it's usually a sword for my melee. But it's nice having a big hammer too, and it's actually like a heavy weapon even, because most of my swords are like little tiny ones. Medium sized. I don't even use that many huge swords like the War. I need to use that some more often. What else? The Guillotine? Something like that, yeah. There are some other ones too. Really solid. Even like the big axes too. The Sindo, I don't use that much. Still need to get the Sindo Prime. But this one, look at this. It's making quick work out of them. I already got 30 kills. It works perfectly with the Rhino too. I mean, it actually makes sense in his hands if, like, let's say Mag was holding it, it would look completely ridiculous, even though she could use it. I mean, okay, let's get a few spin attacks in there. That worked out really well. Spin attack for the win. This thing is crazy. We'll take a look at the stats in a little bit. I just want to use it for a little bit longer. Damn, man. So brutal. It just sends them flying. Ouch! See, when I'm looking at weapons that I enjoy using, I don't necessarily look for the most powerful ones. Like, obviously the swords could be the most powerful, but if I have more fun using something else, like for example, the Jat Kittag here is a lot of fun to use right now. More than likely I'm gonna enjoy playing the game more, using it. Even if it's not as powerful as I could get some of the other weapons, it's still pretty powerful. Man, it's working out nicely here. Destroy every one of their faces. Alright, I think that's about enough. So let's go take a look at its stats and also my mod setup I'm currently using on it. Alright, so here's a closer look at the Jat Kittag. If you're curious where you actually get the blueprint for it, it's in your Clan Dojo research labs. And it's definitely worth getting, apparently. I mean, I really enjoy using this a lot. It looks really cool. Look at that. Would you want to get hit by that? I don't think so. Nobody would want to. Alright, so let's change the color scheme around a little bit. Let's go with some random colors, see if we can get something good on a few tries. That was very patriotic. This is very feminine. This is kind of feminine, but also kind of masculine at the same time. Like, you come up to them and they're not expecting it, and then they just get that right in their face. Okay, let's get a good color scheme. Let's get a good one. Come on. I mean, that one's not terrible. It's just, I don't think the green really necessarily works for the handle. You know what? This one actually looks pretty slick. Like, it's kind of dark and mysterious. Alright, we'll go with this one. Plus, it has the realistic looking fire coming out of it. Okay, anyways, enough of that business. So let's take a look at the stats. So, obviously, slash is really low, so you're not going to expect that from a hammer anyway. And puncture's pretty low, so it's not necessarily great against the Grineer, but I mean, it's still working pretty well against them. It is primarily impact by far, so we're going to mod. We're obviously going to mod for that. And status chance is pretty high, 25%. Critical chance is pretty high. We could potentially take advantage of that with some mods. So let's look at my mod setup I was using during that. Alright, so True Steel, I did take advantage of the critical chance. We bumped that up from 15 to 24. Fury, we got the attack speed from 1 up to 1.10. That was also affected, by the way, by Spoiled Strike, which dropped it in actually 20%. But it's alright, we got 100% extra damage on top of it, so all this stuff together, this combined with Pressure Point, that one's 120%, this is 100%. That got the impact damage up to 632, this one also had an effect on it too. I put Heavy Charm on there for impact. So, impact went up to 632.3, puncture went up to 62.4, slash went up to 20.8, so I mean, it's still present, but it's not great. And then I did, of course, put viral. I really like using viral damage lately. That's what I've been putting on all my weapons if I use any of the elemental damages on top of the base damage. And I also have Organ Shatter. Wow. Wow, I just kind of wasted that, didn't I? That opportunity? Let's make sure we put on the max rank one. Wow, I wasn't taking full advantage of that. So it was only 2 point something, now it's up to 3.8. That'll help out a lot, actually. And we combined Fever Strike for toxin damage and North Wind for cold damage. I would have used the event mods, but I want to get more cold and toxin damage. These go up to 90%. Those only go up to, like, I think 60%. Let me double check. Yeah, it only goes up to 60% with those. I mean, it does increase status chance, so it's kind of nice in that regard, but I thought it was worth going with those ones just so you get the viral up to 748, and that directly attacks their health, by the way, if you're curious what that actually means. Alright, so that's pretty good, And our final weapon is going to be the Daikyu, I think it's pronounced. This is a bow. I wasn't really a fan of it most of the times I've used it, but I did put a catalyst on it. I've got pretty good mods on here now, so I'm pretty happy with the results, but it's certainly not as good as the other bows. The Dread is much better than this, and I don't even think it's really better than the Paris Prime. It's a decent bow, but I don't know, it's on the lower end. Something else weird about it is, unless you hold down the trigger the entire circle, you can't release it at all, or else you cancel the entire sequence. Like with the other bows, you could hold it down for, like, let's say half the circle, and you can let it go and still release it and get, like, a lower amount of a charge on it. This one, you can't even do that, so it's really a shame. And it's a huge bow. Look at this thing. It's absolutely huge. It looks cool, but I don't know. I'm still not really a big fan of it. I had to give it another try, though. I put a catalyst on it, and it's certainly looking a lot better now, but I don't know. Not too pleased, personally. I know some people were kind of surprised that I didn't like it when I mentioned it during streams before, but to each their own, I guess. To each their own. And here it is, up close and personal. This thing is an absolute beast in size. It's a shame it doesn't really make up for it in the actual damage it deals. Don't get me wrong, it still did pretty well against the Grineer. I just really don't like the firing mechanic. There might be ways around if I use other mods, but as it currently stands, I'm not a big fan. So let's go and change the appearance a bit. A skin. Oh, I do have this skin. Nice. Alright, I think this was part of the pack that Henny gave me, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where that came from. So thanks, Henny. Thanks. And we'll put an attachment on here. Let's see. Oh, the different types of arrows. So let's see which one goes better with it. That's such a peculiar arrow. Like, it would hurt. I mean, don't get me wrong. That looks like it would hurt pretty bad, but like getting stabbed with something seems a lot deadlier. I kind of like that one. Let's go with that one. Okay, let's change the color scheme around a bit, make it a little bit more personalized. Well, that's kind of weird looking. I mean, it's kind of cool, but there's something wrong with it. That's kind of cool. Probably my least favorite so far of all these choices. That's my least favorite actually now. It just keeps getting worse the further we go. Okay, so blue's kind of cool. I mean, not really like a light baby blue like that was. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the black and white look, and I guess that's technically gray, but let's get a little bit of color in there. That one's absolutely horrible. Alright, you know what? This one doesn't look too shabby. This one has some dark blue in there. Yeah, this one looks pretty cool. Alright, so let's go with that. We'll make sure the attachment matches the colors. There we go, so the arrows are the same. I mean, it doesn't look very good with Rhino, who's currently looking like a tiger, but it still works. Alright, anyway, so onto the stats. Slash damage 70 and impact is 70, but clearly it's primarily a puncture damage weapon, so better against the Grineer. And 45% status chance. Critical chance is 15, so it's not as great as some of the other bows in that regard, but we can still mod it for it. It only has one polarity icon on there, the V shape, so we'll probably put like Serration there. Now, the mod setup I was using during that, as you can see, I do need to put some formulas on this if I actually want to get it to be to a higher standard, let's just say that. But as it stands right now, we use Serration, which got the damage up. Split chamber, multi-shot, that always allows you to fire more arrows, or with other weapons, more bullets with each trigger pull. So it's actually causing more damage. That's basically what it does. And then heavy caliber increases the damage but decreases accuracy. I mean, I usually put this on here. It's noticeable sometimes when the accuracy drops because you're aiming directly at somebody but it still misses. But it's still worth it for the additional damage boost that this gives. And I don't even have this at the max rank yet. We need to get that all the way up there and see how much damage we can really do. And speed trigger, this is really necessary for all bows so you can fire it faster. This actually decreases the amount of time it takes to charge up the shot before you can fire it. And piercing hit, I took advantage of the base puncture value like I mentioned with the other weapon before. So I took advantage of that, and altogether, all those serration, split chamber, heavy caliber, and piercing hit got the puncture from 210 up to almost 2000. Very close actually. So if I were to upgrade this one level, that would probably be the kicker. Put it over 2000. And then I also have point strike on here to increase the critical chance a little bit. So I got it from 15 to 30, so it's not as high as it could go because we need formas again so I can actually more properly mod it. But I mean, I don't think I'm even going to waste any. I don't think I'm going to actually like this bow at all. I do like it a little bit better now that I was able to make it more powerful, but still just not a fan of it. So this is going to go to the bottom of my weapon pile.
Hey, are you going to help these people out?
And we just upgraded our Steel Meridian rank, so we're up to Valiant now. Your sacrifice is complete, you have earned a new title.
Alright, I'm impressed. You might make a difference in people's lives after all.
I just thought I should put this in there. So we could either choose a Void Key Pack, Uprising Sigil for an additional 8%, or the Protectorate Sigil. The Void Key Pack, I'd rather have an 8% booster. So out of these two, I kind of like this one better. Redeem it. Okay, so I really haven't gone through this enough in the series, but after you choose your syndicate, you can come in here and you'll see that what they offer you require different ranks. And obviously after you get up to higher ranks, everything before it's still available, but you have to use some of your syndicate standing. And eventually you want to come down here and get some of these mods that are exclusive here and all kinds of other things. And then after you get all the way down the list, then we get like the Vacor Mirlock, which I already have technically. The Vacor Heck, I need to get that again on my PS4 account here. I have that on PC already. And then we could also get this one and an Arcane Distiller. Oh man, that'd be nice. I can't wait to get down there. That's going to take forever though. Look at that. These are really expensive too. 125,000 standing. Damn. Okay. Whew. Alright. Anyways, just a little update on that. I have actually upgraded my title a few times here. It is unfortunate because we are losing standing with some of the other syndicates, but sacrifices have to be made, you know. And if we were to go to the next one, oh man, we have to use an Orokin Catalyst? This really is not very easy at all to choose. To go up to the one I just reached, I had to use a Forma, which really isn't that bad, but an Orokin Catalyst is a lot more rare. And 100,000 credits, that one I don't really mind so much, but we can't actually do that until we get our syndicate standing back up. As you can see, we need to hit 44,000 all the way on the left side. And then the Red Veil I can almost rank up again after that gets up to 22,000. New Loka and the Parent Sequence absolutely hate us. They hate us more than life itself. But, oh well. Anyways, Sneaky Nation, that'll about do for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. As always, please remember to show your support, like, and favorite to let me know you did. If you're new, join us in Sneaky Nation by clicking subscribe so you don't have to miss any videos in the future. And I will see you next time.